Hi guys, Chef Olivier here. Today I'm going to show you how to break down a lamb. So okay, the lamb, what we're going to do first, we're going to cut what we call the primal cut. So the primal cut are the large one, the one from which you're going to take after small pieces. So the first one we've got will be the legs, then we got here what we call the saddle, then we get the racks, then we get the shoulder and the neck. That'll be our primal. So that's what we're gonna start with. And we're gonna start that way. Leg, saddle, we're gonna go from the rear of the animal to the head of the animal. Okay, so let's start. What you see first inside, there is a lot of fat. We're gonna start by removing it. Chef, can you ask me to open it like that? Thank you very much. So simply with your boning knife, remove all the extra fat that you don't need. And all those tendons and veins. It's for you also to see where you're gonna cut after. Because like anything that you will debone, fish or meat, you just have to follow the bones. As long as you understand the structure of an animal, the skeleton of an animal, it's easy to do. And all the mammals, that can be a rabbit, that can be a lamb, that can be a beef, that can be actually a human, we all made the same way. So as long as you understand that, it's really simple to follow. So now, here you can see, let me turn it, that's the leg, and here I've got the hip bone. So what I'm gonna do, I will cut just above the hip bone to separate the hips and the leg from the rest of the animal. So in order to do so, same thing, I'm gonna use my boning knife on one side. Turn it, chef. Get this one. And you get the legs. So you just cut, as you can see, we've got the hip bone, which is here. So that's what we wanted to cut just above. So we put that aside. That's our first primal cut. The legs, the two legs together. Second one is the saddle. So the saddle is the part which is between the hip bone and the first floating ribs. So we got here the ribs, which are attached together by the sternum, and all the ribs which are not attached by the sternum, we call them floating ribs. So they're not attached to anything, and they start just right there. So what you want to do is to make sure that the saddle is a part between those floating ribs and the hips that you remove. So we gotta apply the same process. You want to keep all that part of meat, which is called the flaps. I'm gonna go on my floating ribs. Same thing on the other side. here you get your saddle. So you can see the saddle, You see the shape of the bones there. If you cut it like that, in the center, that's where you get your T-bones. Okay, on each side you get a T-bone. So you get a pair of T-bones and the saddle. So that's one of your primal cut as well. Keep it on side, keep on going on the rest of the leg. So now we've got what we call the coffre. So you get all the ribs and the shoulder. So before you can attack the ribs, you need to remove the shoulders. Okay, in order to do so, you will open them like this. So you're gonna mark them here, because what you need to see that here we got a big bones which is called the shoulder blade. So you want to mark your shoulder blade on the skin like this. Give some space. That's your shoulder. So here you get a big one shoulder blade, and you get your front leg there. So I'm going to show you again on this side. So you first mark your shoulder blade. You can feel it. I can feel it here. So I'm going to mark it just after. Around there. Okay. Then I open my shoulder. Second shoulder. With it. So now we will remove the neck. Okay, neck is really good for what, chef?
Barbacoa, for steaming.
For steaming, for everything which is braising, for level 4 couscous. That go well in your braising because it's really it's full of flavor. There's a lot of gelatin, there's a lot of collagen, a lot of bone, and it's really, it can cook slow. And it's really full of flavor. So for the neck, you see the shape of the neck like that. The neck starts there because that's where the head was, and you have to go all the way here. That will be part of your neck. Okay, so simply like that. I'm gonna mark it first with my knife, with my boning knife. Lot of meat on that, really rich in meat, but that meat is really full of fat and gelatin and collagen, so that will be really good for all your braising. Alright, now we come to the ribs. So the first thing we need to do is to separate the ribs. Okay, so in order to do so, we're gonna go there on the back, and here you can see or you can feel the spine. So what you want to do is to put your knife, boning knife, against the spine and make sure that you mark your meat like this. So on both sides. Everything I've done there is just separating the two sides of the ribs. So now I can cut simply the bones through there. Chef Olivier. spine here. So we're getting the same thing there. Now pull them. Okay, so now you get that bone removed. All those bones obviously make a beautiful stock. And we got part of the ribs. So now that we got primal cuts, so that we have primal cuts. So we got sets of ribs, we got shoulders, neck, saddle, and legs. That's your primal cut. That's what we start with. The legs. We're gonna separate. First thing to do, obviously, to separate them. So it's pretty easy. You know, two legs. Move in between, like this. And what you want to do is to remove that part of the hip bones which is in your way. So if you order from a butcher, what the butcher will do is take his bandsaw and cut through the bones. So when you get a piece of leg like that, you have something which is cut with the hip bones. So when you're paying as a chef, when you're paying for your meat, you're also paying for a big amount of bones. You don't want that. So that's why you better learn to do it yourself, like that you can get exactly what you need. And you pay for what you need. So if you know how to cut a lamb, you're gonna save a lot of money, because you can then serve all the pieces, different prices, different menu, different type of recipe, but you don't lose anything. You can use everything from it, you know. And the bones, you can make a really nice. Let's keep this one there. We can make a really nice stock, obviously, because it's the one you pick. So remember that all those skills, chicken or even fish, try to take them all. Try to learn how to fillet them. You know, you're gonna make the best out of them, and you're gonna basically save a lot of money. But it's a skill. Obviously, it's something that you need to work on, like Chef Pascal. Really good at wiping my forehead.
I know.
Master of forehead wiper. So Chef Pascal, what do we do with the lamb leg?
Next few weeks we gonna stuff with some shallot and yogurt and mint and thyme and a crushed garlic. Would be amazing. Marinate with the yogurt
Okay.
and use a height and low heat roasting temperature.
We're gonna roast it. What else we can do with the leg?
I mean, we can do as well steaming technique on the level 4 international would be very nice. To roast and serve with couscous.
Oh yes, with couscous. Everything is good with couscous.
By the way, couscous was great last week.
Yeah, it was okay.
Nice couscous.
Okay, that's the second leg. Okay, that's usually cooked by itself like that. You will probably debone it with Chef Pascal, so you'll probably remove the front bone. I'll let you do that, no problem. All I want to show you is usually what you want to do is to French it a little. So you go around the bone like this. want to have the end of your leg like that. Okay, you can cover it with an alfoil to cook it to keep it white. You will remove that bone and stuff it, tie it and stuff it, but you will see that with Chef Pascal later this week. So that's for your legs. Let's move on your. You do it yourself.
I will.
Let's move on your shoulder. Oh no, saddle first. For your saddle. So, what you want to remove from the saddle, it's all that fat and all the tendons, veins that you don't need. That doesn't mean that you throw the fat. That fat is good. It's white, it's firm, it's breakable. That's the fat you want to use in your sausages. If you do merguez for the couscous, come back to the couscous all the time, that's a really good fat to use, okay? So lamb fat can be used in some recipe, like also if you do kebab. Alright? Yes. If you do kebab, you want a bit of your fat to nourish them. So we keep all that fat. You want me to debone it?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So the way you debone the saddle, as you can see, you get like, maybe you should put it on that side, like a cross shape. The glove. You have like a cross shape bone. With the saddle. You happy with that? No, it's just whatever. Okay, with the saddle we got the bone. You can see the bone like a cross there. So you want to follow that bone. I will go on top, on both sides. And then follow that shape. So what are you going to do with that kind of part, Chef Pascal?
Now with this part we can stuff. We can stuff with some vegetable, with some aromatic garnish. We can make a mousse as well. One properly and pan roasting and cut on medallion. Very tasty. The expensive part of lamb.
It's an expensive part of lamb.
So it's not a part of lamb to do braising or sauté en sauce. It would be too expensive.
No, and plus it cooks really fast because it's a tender part. So you get your bone like this, like a cross, okay, that you can keep as well. And then you get your saddle. So what was Chef Pascal was saying, you can stuff it here, stuff it there, put that back like this, okay. Use the flaps to close it. And you can shorten the flap, and you can have simply roast like this. Okay, hold the roast like that. I suppose you will work on that.
Exactly.
Now, the shoulder. So for the shoulder, same thing. You can roast it. You can you use it if you want to do the lamb navarin. All the sauté en sauce, they're really good with the shoulder because the shoulder there is a lot of different muscle, a lot of collagen, a lot of fat. And it will really, you need to cook quite slowly, not to be too tough, but it will really nourish the flavor of your dishes. So, what I remove there, it's some really big, chunky fatty part because we don't need them. I will remove part of the skin. That ink that they use on every meat is edible. It's not. Is made to be eaten, so you don't have to worry about it if you see it on the meat. However, for your customer, usually visually it's not really good, so we remove it. But it's not harmful. On the contrary, I want to remove a bit of the fat. Now, what I will do, I will remove the shoulder blade. Okay, so if you want to confit or to braise or even to roast slow roast, low temperature, that part of the meat, the shoulder. You will want to stuff it a bit to remove the big bone. So one of the biggest bone is the shoulder blade. It's a flat bone, so you want to simply go on top of it and to open the meat around it. You can see the shape of it. It's a large triangle. And on the other side, the triangle go like a T shape. Okay, so you get a flat part, a little T, like maybe 2 fingers like that, on top. So you want to go on each side of that T. Then you want to go to the joint and simply disjoint it. Dislocate the joints. Okay, you get your. You see that T I was talking about? Flat, and then you get that coming up. All right. So from them, you can again debone here, debone there. It's up to you after what you will do to it. Or you can take it and cut it in small dice if you want to make a sauté en sauce or a couscous. Yes. I like my couscous in case you didn't get that.
And of course, with the beautiful bone, we're gonna make a stock.
Welcome. It's a pleasure. So now we're gonna work on the racks. So racks, there is two kind of ribs, okay? And racks is one of your biggest seller because people love lamb racks, they love lamb chops, and you can make a lot of profit with them. If you buy the racks by themselves, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. But if you can, do them yourself, it's gonna be cheaper for you. So we get two different kind of ribs. The one which are that I talked about before, which are floating, and the one which are attached. First thing we will do is to remove everything which is not rib. So that part of the sternum, okay, and all the way. Let's remove that flap there. Way. So all the way there. So I just cut in the cartilage. That's why it was easy. I don't go through the bones. I go through the cartilage, and I cut. Okay, that part. Really good as well, mainly this one. Really a lot of flavor in this one. That will give flavor to your stock, That also the sternum where you find gelatin and cartilage. That will give you a lot of texture to your stock, texture to your sauces as well, and a lot of shininess to it. Now, I will remove that part here. What is this part? Does anyone know? Yes. It's like a tendon. Which kind of tendon? It runs basically from the lower back to the neck. Okay. You can find it actually in the neck. Where is my neck? It's here. It's what we call the cervical cord. See some part of it there? That thing, you need to remove it. It doesn't cook. You can cook it with a stone. The stone will be cooked before it cooked. Okay. You can't boil it. You can't braise it. You can't grill it. It's not gonna cook. It's just gonna be there and gonna be really tough. You don't want that. Okay, so you have to remove it. Now, I say two type of shops, because part of the shops were together, part of the set were floating, and also part of the shop was what we call covered. They were covered by the shoulder. So those one are the lesser shops. They are the one you're gonna install actually in shop. That you're gonna, when you do a grill, a barbecue, and you grill some shop, you want to use those one. The one which are closer to the saddle, so the rare one, they're the one which are the most expensive, because the shape of them, they're round. On that side, they kind of kind of mushy. Okay, so it is not the same product. So you want to separate them. Usually on that side you get 8 what we call pins, which are basically bones, ribs. So you're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is when your rack will really stop. So you want to separate it there. So I'm just gonna remove that part of the spine. And I can simply cut right there. So now I've got my rack, the one that I really want to use, the one which is expensive. So let's remove part of the skin. Usually get the first one as a mark for the length of the ribs. So you want to mark it from here. I'm simply I'm marking it. That's your spare ribs. So like you will have on your beef, you can still marinate that and grill it. You know, this one is a bit, obviously that's a really skinny lamb. If you get some lamb which is a bit fattier, you can have better spare ribs, right? So then after you just have your normal rack. So you clean it like you did. You did that before, didn't you? You did that already in level 1?
No. Week 7.
Week 7?
Mm-hmm. Frenching.
French your rack. Frenching. What do you call Frenching?
Pretty.
Ah, because it's pretty. You French and
oh, you don't talk about that.
Frenching, okay. Stripping them on the back, and then should be able to pull them clean. Okay. So that will be your rack. That's the expensive part. That's the one you will sell. How much are you going to sell lamb rack, chef?
You mean expensive?
You mean expensive? Yeah. You mean expensive?
If you compare the shoulder.
Yeah, it's a luxury item. How we cook it?
We grill, we sear, can roast.
roast.
same thing. You're looking for the low temperature inside. 125, 140 will be nice.
The idea is that muscle doesn't work a lot. It's a muscle that doesn't work too much. So the meat is really tender. So you don't want to cook it too much. You want to keep it medium rare, medium. Don't go higher than that. I mean, if that's what your customer wants, you want it well done, you can, but that's a bit of a waste. Okay. So you really want to go medium max. I think it's maximum you're gonna go medium with that. But you will sell it for quite a bit of money. And it costs you how much? Where is Paola? Because I think the rack that we buy, when we buy only the rack themselves, they're around $100 a pound. So you want to take something which is, if you get a whole lamb, obviously you only get 2 racks, but you can make a bit of money out of them. The whole lamb cost us $160. Okay, so $160, you can get them back just with the legs. Depending, if you get a small restaurant and you want to use a full lamb, big parts of the legs, you can make steaks out of them if you want to, okay? Or you can make a sauté en sauce. But you can also propose part of the lamb on a special on the weekend for a table of 2 or a table of 3 or 4, and roast the piece. But in that case, obviously if you serve a whole piece like that and your waiter will cut it at the table, you can make a nice margin on it. Okay, because it's not only the food that you're selling, it's all the experience that you're giving the customer. So if you are having, as I say, the waiter serving them, cutting in front of them, the whole theatrical of it, you sell it. You sell it. And people will be happy to pay because they're not going out only for your food. They're going out for an experience. They want to be entertained. They want to be to be served. They want people to pay attention to who they are and what they're doing. So they will appreciate that you make a little effort when you serve them. So here you get your rack, lamb rack. After you're gonna put some string and make it look attached together. So that part here, as you can see, that's where you're gonna make your cutlets. Your small pieces of lamb that you will sell and put on the barbecue. So same thing, we can simply cut there. I don't even want to remove that part because it's anyway in the meat. Once again, this one is mainly your spare ribs, and the other one is just your cutlets. So spare ribs, and for this one, you're just gonna cut your cutlet out of it. That part actually can go in the neck. Okay. Those one your cutlet, cut, grilled, easy.